Okay. There's this new thing all over my For You page now. I'm not surprised it's there, considering I have a faith in Christ, but where believers are spouting this Christmas is about Christ and how dare you say otherwise. It's wrong. Now, I will never deny my faith in Christ. But Christmas is pagan. You can choose to acknowledge Christ at Christmas, but like the Americans' Thanksgiving thing, where even the atheists in America choose to be thankful to or for something. You're saying thanks to somebody or something, whoever it is. Be thankful at Christmas to that person or thing too. Everybody celebrates their own way, and some people don't even celebrate Christmas. In fact, isn't there like a country that doesn't even celebrate Christmas? Not everybody even celebrates. Christmas isn't even a thing all around the world. So, no, Christmas isn't a religious thing. So, no, Christmas is not about Christ. In the 4th century AD, the Catholic Church, mind you, decided to integrate with the pagans. Winter solstice. The winter solstice they've been celebrating for thousands of years, and I mean thousands of years, for all you Americans have only been around for a few hundred. Thousands of years, right? The Catholic Church decided to integrate with them because, around 4 AD there was this mass conversion thing going on, And so to help with that, they decided to take all pagan beliefs and turn them religious. And so they took the winter solstice and made it theirs and stated that Christ was born on December 25th, which is a complete and utter lie for a start, because as all Messianic Jews know, and as all true believers know, Christ could not have been born in December. It's too cold. Everybody knows, if you actually read the Bible properly, it actually states that he would have been born somewhere around Sukkot, which is a Jewish festival, which meant that he would have been born somewhere between sort of late September, early to mid-October. Sort of early October. He would have been born around there. Bible states it. He was born around the time of Sukkot. I think that's how it's pronounced. I could be pronouncing it very, very wrong. In fact, I probably am pronouncing it very, very wrong, and I am very sorry if I am. But it does state that he was born around that time because the shepherds were out in their fields overnight. So he was born in that time, sort of late September, early October time. The Bible states it very, very clearly. So anybody who's actually read the Bible and understands the Bible knows this fact. So it is very clear. And also, if you actually look it up online, which I had to, just to make sure my facts were correct, I did actually look it up just to be sure I wasn't wrong, because, you never, I could be misinterpreting a lot of things because, my head, my brain, But I am right. It does say it, but I could very well be pronouncing the name of their festival, which is very, very possible. He was born late September, early October time. We don't know exactly what day, but we do know it was around that time because the shepherds were out in the field. The one thing that I find really annoying, that really is a real bugbear to me, is the nativity. It's wrong. Everybody does it wrong. Everybody puts the wise men in the stable with the baby. It's wrong. The wise men are kingmakers. And there isn't three of them. There's hundreds of them. They didn't follow the star to the stable. They followed the star to Nazareth. The king wasn't scared of a baby. He was scared of a child. It states it very, very clearly if you actually read the story. He doesn't send his men to kill every baby. He sends the men to kill every child at a certain age. Every 2 to 3 year old. He's not sending them to kill every baby. He's sending them to kill a child. Every single child at a certain age. He's sending them to kill toddlers. Because the wise men took 2 to 3 years to get to Nazareth, where they followed the star to his house. And there were hundreds of them. There wasn't 3, there were hundreds. There were 3 that actually knelt before him, offering frankincense, gold and myrrh, which was obviously, his birth, his resurrection, his birth, death and resurrection, obviously. That's what they symbolised, birth, death and resurrection. Birth, death and resurrection, which is what they were. I think that's what it is, birth, death and resurrection. But yeah, but those 3 did kneel before him. 3 did kneel before him and offer their gifts, but there were hundreds of them that walked, that rode through the streets of Israel. It would be a grand sight, terrifying sight. The king was terrified. He wasn't scared of these 3 little men walking through. They didn't go to a stable, and there weren't these tiny little men going to a stable and going, oh yes, we're going to offer these. There were hundreds of these people going through the streets of Israel, following this star. He was terrified of the kingmakers because they were going to crown a king. He was Roman. They were going to crown a Jewish king. This little child was going to take his place. He was terrified. So he sent his people to kill all the children at a certain age. So 2 to 3 year olds. He was killing 2 to 3 year old children. He wasn't killing little tiny babies in stables. He was killing children in their homes. It's a real bugbear of mine. It bothers me just a little bit. Christmas has nothing to do with Christ, unless you choose to let it have something to do with Christ. You can enjoy Christmas and everything it stands for, because Christmas is a spirit of goodwill, good tidings, love, kindness, giving. Yes, everything Christ stands for, but everything we as people should stand for anyway. This phrase of treat others the way that we ourselves want to be treated. Christmas is this time where we reflect on the year that we've had. So, and be grateful for all that we have. And look forward to the future that we're going to have. It's you can bring Christ into it if you have a faith. And if you have any other faith in the world, you can bring yours into it as well. It's not, you can keep Christmas any way you want. Any way you want. It doesn't have to be about Christ. And the fact that Christmas in itself isn't actually about Christ makes it even better. But you can choose to make Christ part of it if you want to.